Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
You know you the intro person. All right, everybody, welcome to Chocolate Hazelnut Podcast, where we kick all the ass. So today we're going to talk about a couple different issues, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and welcome to our channel.
All right, Chocolate, you ain't introduce yourself, but that's cool.
Oh, I'm Chocolate,
I'm Hazelnut.
and this is everything right about the world. I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right. Pause. So the following comment came off of another YouTube channel, and this guy said,
I
"I'm
shall I shall remain single. I am a dark-skinned male or skin. I am a dark-skinned male who is only attracted to
all
Caucasian
right.
and Latino
Pause.
women.
Let's start that over.
All right. So this comment came from another YouTube channel and it reads as follows. I shall remain single. I am a dark-skinned male who is only attracted to Caucasian and Latino women. I grew up as a kid in the early 1990s in the US watching Dragon Ball and Power Rangers. When I was a little kid in the early 1990s, I promised myself I would never get married or have children. It is 2022, and I am not married, nor do I have children. I don't date, approach women, or get involved in relationships. I was rejected every time when I tried to approach them around 2012 to 2014, college years. I eventually stopped. I am too nice and respectful for most women until they find out the hard way. I have other ways and personal contacts when I like to have a good time. I also only prefer more mature women, currently working at a game company and building up. Your thoughts?
He likes prostitutes.
I
So I have something I'd like to add to the conversation. Just give me one moment. So my honest opinion on this particular comment is he really needs to go talk to someone because he got hurt, he got rejected, and he never learned how to deal with that. And as a guy in this world, it's something you have to learn to move on for. Yes, it hurts, and not every guy deals with rejection well, not every person. But to remove yourself from a dating market because you got hurt is not necessarily healthy, but want to seek some professional help. I do see, however, in there he says he's a dark skinned male who's only attracted to Caucasians and Latino women. But just because you're attracted to someone or something doesn't mean they're automatically going to be attracted to you. And if you're a nice guy, yes, you do set yourself up to get used, depending on how you define nice guys. Some guys define nice guys as I'll pull out my wallet and I'll lead with that first. So we would have to get a little bit more background, but in general, leaving the dating market because you got rejected is an unhealthy reaction to rejection. But if you left the dating market to increase your value as a man, I can understand that.
want to point out, though, that he says at the very end, I also only prefer more mature women.
Older women.
So if you are a college kid, somewhere between 18 and 22, 24 years old, and you are approaching a middle aged woman, you're probably going to get rejected more often than average if that's what you're attracted to, especially if they're like Caucasian or Latino women, because you're generally not
Go.
the type of guy that they would want. And then you would also have to consider if they are a middle-aged woman, you're 20 years old trying to go after a 35-year-old, she might have teenage children. She needs stability. She needs, more than just like what you can offer her at that time.
So it's, he's somewhere between 24 to 30, almost 40 in general, because he grew up during the 90s.
I mean,
You said
that's
he was
not.
a little
I
kid.
was referring to the
I know,
2012 to 2014.
I know, college, but that doesn't mean that that's when he might not have
That's
went straight out
true.
of high
That's
school.
true.
So we don't know his age, but we can make assumptions.
I
And
was making the assumption because he
you
just
have a
put
very good
college years.
you have a good point. You have a good point. Only reason I say that is he said early 90s, and in 2014 he could be 18 during that time frame, just barely. If he was
I
born in like
mean,
94,
I would say he was probably somewhere around there. Not to give my age away, but I'm an early
your
'90s
oldest,
kid.
your oldest third.
Anywho, but I mean, literally, like
You got 10 years on me.
I was 2012, 14. I would have been in college at that time around the same time as well. So he was, in his early 20s around that time during the college years.
Yeah,
If
you're
he's a,
oldest third.
the earliest he could have been born was 1990 to, I would say, like maybe 94 to be considered like early 90s.
Not all of us 40 like you. Just
Yeah,
saying.
well, whatever. I'm 40. Okay.
I mean,
Anywho,
40 is young.
I mean, I make 40 look good, so I ain't even gonna go there if I was 40, but
Yeah, so
I make it look good.
in general, I think if he was pulling out,
Haha.
if he was pulling out the dating market to build himself up, I understand. But if he did it because of rejection, he should have been seeking some type of help so that his
Maybe it's not necessarily help though. Maybe it's just purely a confidence thing because based on the way that he wrote this, especially even mentioning the fact that he watched Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball, the series, Sega, whatever, and Power Rangers, like literally almost every 90s kid watched like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Power Rangers, like the whole like. So if he's trying to imply that he's like nerdy or into like Comic Con and that sort of thing, then I mean, yes, that kind of limits your um dating pool options in a way, especially like during those 2021 years, because you have to kind of figure out your audience, so to speak.
okay. Well, as you can see, the other comment disappeared all on its own. It just kind of jumped off the screen and said, "Hey, stop talking about me. I'm
All right,
right
hold on,
here."
last thing and then I'll be done. Also, going back to the mature women thing, if you're a nerdy kid, you're 18 to 22 years old, wearing Dragon Ball Z and wanting to go to Comic Con, but you want a 35-year-old, that's your chances are slim, buddy. I
He
just want
just
to throw that out
he
there.
just has to find him one that's into cosplay,
I mean, yeah,
which is
I didn't
actually
say it's impossible. I just said
that
it's slim.
if you go on these dating sites, you'll see that a lot of women are into anime cosplay and they like a lot of this stuff.
I don't think that that's their problem though. I think that it's just like the fact of like given the things that you're into and the type of women that you're wanting or you're attracted to kind of,
Okay.
they go against each other. That's all I'm saying. That's what I think.
So let's review a video I think goes along with this last comment.
Nice guy, let me put you on game right quick. So if a girl tells you, "Oh, you're too sweet, you're too nice. Oh, I just want to be your friend," it's not because you're too nice. Here's the real reason. It's either one or two of these reasons, and there are probably more, but these are the ones that I've picked up on. So number one, she's not physically or sexually attracted to you in any way, shape, or form, and she knows if she gets with you, she will not be fully content nor satisfied.
What do you think about that first reason?
Honestly, I can see why she says that. I'm not gonna lie.
Educate
Like,
me.
because like going back to the guy from the comment right now, he's describing like anyway, like I was saying, um what I mean is like going back to the guy in the first comment right now, he's like describing the way that he looks. He's like, I'm dark skinned, I'm into Dragon Ball and Power Ranger, and he's trying to paint this picture of what he looks like and maybe give us a semblance of his personality maybe. So, based on what she's saying, like of your like when you think about your typical like kind of nerdy type guy or something like that, maybe you're not really
I'm the
um
biggest nerd in this room.
I mean, I'm nerdy too. I'm geeky. I like anime. I like documentaries, all of that. But I mean, it really kind of depends though, because you have some of those guys who you look at and it's just like, okay, they wouldn't be as bad looking if, right? And then it's just something like maybe they just need a different type of haircut instead of having long, shaggy-ish hair or like a big afro. If they had like a nice like cut or something to keep it, to make them look differently, that can make a huge difference. So maybe it's the way that they dress. Maybe instead of wearing wrinkled clothes all the time, you just kind of like wore a nice, some jeans, something that's wrinkle free or whatever. All of those things can kind of make a difference.
I agree. I agree. 100.
All right, so let's go ahead and like finish listening.
Why would you want to get with a girl that that is not really about you, that is not really into you like that? She's doing you a favor. You guys over here getting mad that girls are rejecting you, not realizing they're actually doing you a favor. These girls they're not for you. The girls that you want, they're not the one for you. So instead of getting mad that you're getting rejected, you should really be praising the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for protecting me from a girl that's just gonna suck up my energy, my money, my time, and my resources, and make me bitter and angry at the end of it. Instead, you should be focusing on yourself, becoming the man you truly want and need to be, and eventually the girl that you guys are chasing after, she'll be attracted to you. She'll come to you. You won't have to go to her. Okay.
So I have to say something here.
Go ahead, please.
Now, have to invoke a lot of people here because I really, you know who I'm thinking about,
Go
right?
for it. Go for it.
So if he increases value on the market, you're saying she's going to come to him. But now, maybe it's 10 years later, 2 kids later, maybe no kids. Let's just go with 10 years. She done had Tom, Dick, and Harry all up in her, and she come to the nerd who's doing well. What makes her think that he would want her?
Especially now that he's leveled up, as she implies, and he has more options. Why does he want you?
Like, he did all this to build himself up. You rejected him. You didn't give him the time of day, more than likely, more than an introduction on, oh, he doesn't have the swag.
So I will say this, and this is where I disagree with what she just said. If the girl isn't interested in you, then you should take that as a blessing that you missed out on this girl who's going to suck up your energy, this, that, and the third. And I don't agree that this necessarily the case. Just like guys are, first, like we're all first physically attracted to somebody, like just
Hmm.
upon seeing them. There has to be physical attraction there. Not saying that that's the most important part of it. Now, with that though, like you can if you're getting constant feedback of like the reason why somebody doesn't want to talk to you is because maybe you have a body odor or something like that, right? And people are saying like that's off-putting. Like you need to take it upon yourself to like improve that so that people can like be tolerable of you. Like people are not just going to deal with anything. Now at the same time, if you are trying to like show interest in someone who just flat out is like ill, like no, I don't want you, this and that, okay, fine, pass and go on to the next. But that doesn't give you the right to say that somebody's just interested in you just because you don't look a certain way, and because you don't look a certain way, go do all these other things and then like they'll just automatically come back. Because you can go do all of those things, and if they're still not physically attracted to you, they're not going to be attracted to you. Like that's just the bottom line.
Okay, let's see what else, what other nonsense she has to say.
Is low confidence. Women can sense a man's low confidence from a mile away.
Are y'all really like sharks? You can smell low confidence
I
from a
disagree
mile
with
away?
that. I'm gonna say this because there are tons of like shy guys and things like that women are with, and it doesn't have as much to do with their confidence, because there's tons of females who will go approach guys. Like there are tons of guys who are like, I was so shy around her, this and that. Maybe they were friends, maybe they saw each other at a bar, whatever. But I would say that confidence does play a part. Like, your player types, your ones with swag and all of the other stuff. Yeah, they got all the confidence in the world. But the ones who I would say more women marry are the ones who are more down to earth, kind of, maybe they don't have as high of a confidence level as like your player types, your pretty boys, your pretty girls, those type of people, because they tend to be a little arrogant. um but I would say low confidence in and of itself is not a solely determined, like a determining factor.
Okay, interesting.
It is a turnoff for many women. I was with a guy with low confidence, and I had to constantly build his self esteem up every single day. Eventually, he became the confident man that I saw in him, but it took a lot of my energy, guys. And a lot of women are not as patient as me. They will not sit there and build up a man's self esteem every single day like that. You guys are too grown to be sitting here needing a woman to validate you. You
Hold on, let that play.
should be validating yourself. Build yourself up. Know that you look good inside and out. You shouldn't have to need a woman to do that. Yes, she should be complimenting you, but it shouldn't be a need, okay? And a lot of you guys are coming up in here emotionally immature, broken inside, and you're expecting to get the woman that you want. How does that work? You have to be confident about who you are on the inside as well as the outside, guys. And a lot of you don't feel good about what you look like or who you are. You don't feel like a man. You don't have the amount of money you want. You're not going after your purpose. You think you're too fat. You don't like your acne, your teeth, whatever it is that you're struggling with, and you're expecting a girl to like it for you. Like, and then saying that the reason why you're getting rejected is because you're too nice. That's not the reason, guys. You need to look at yourself in the mirror, self-evaluate, and figure out what it is you need to improve. That's all I got.
So there is a such thing as too nice of a guy, and what I mean is that you are allow people in your life, and you try to treat them the way you want to be treated, with respect, dignity, but because they're used to this toxic style relationship where they have to argue, fuss, and fight, they confuse you for being boring.
Mm-hmm.
They say you're complacent, you don't have drive, and that you lack certain masculine traits that they
You don't
associate with
create
it.
that fire for them that they're craving.
Yeah, so when they see you treating them like a man should treat a woman, they get real bored. That's been my personal experience.
I'm gonna say this. She said, first off, the low confidence thing, that was a bias, because she did that and she was like, I was with a guy and I had to work every day to build up his confidence and tell him this and tell him that. Men do that with women all the time. And then
Look at TikTok and Instagram.
that's what I was just about to go. She said you shouldn't need a woman to validate you. Literally, women want validation all the time. They are on dating sites, they're on social media, they're on all of this stuff just to hear that they look good, that they're pretty, that men want them for no other reason, just to hear it and to know it. Like, if you know that you look good, why do you need everybody else to tell you such? Is that not the same thing as low confidence then,
Well,
according to her?
I would say, as people, we are social creatures. We do thrive on validation from others, and not just those closest in our circle, but complete strangers. Just to have
That's
somebody to walk up and say, "Hey, you have a beautiful smile."
and
That
that's
does something
fine,
to
but
someone.
when it comes to a relationship, like, you can't tell me that. And this is what I'm saying about that low confidence thing. If a man has low confidence that you can see a mile away and that's a turnoff, then I mean, flip that around and put it the other way, because literally women are, I would say, worse in that regard, because women always want to make sure, like, oh, do I look pretty enough? Am I this or am I that? But see, unlike men, women need that from other women as well as men. So they need it from everybody.
Yep. So
I'm on my
validate,
high horse. I'm sorry.
but
I'm
I
gonna
do
step down for
believe
a
that
moment.
a man should validate his woman just like a woman should validate her man.
Yes,
Because if you're not going to validate them, guess what? Someone
somebody
else
else
will.
will.
Bye.